Yeah, my name is Abdi Bulle, aka Coach AB. Today we're gonna just talk about the process of getting your CDL and all that fun stuff. And look, I've been getting a lot of people messaging me on social media asking like how can I get it, how can I get my CDL, blah blah blah. So I'm trying to make this video so it can help you guys out and stuff. So for sure, hopefully it's helpful. CDL is a commercial driver license. So at at when you go to school, they say professional driver. They say professional driver. So a CDL is a commercial driver license. It's like meaning you can drive if you have so there's different types of CDL. There's class A, class B. Yeah. But class A is you can drive trailers and wait you can drive anything with like 80,000 pounds and up. So it's really important. I say it's best to get your class A because once you have your class A, you can drive anything that requires class B because class A is like the highest one you can have possibility. So that's what a CDL is, commercial driver license. I feel like the benefits of having a CDL for sure is that once you have your CDL, you're actually golden. Like people are gonna people gonna as long as you don't have like tickets or accidents, people are gonna keep calling your phone like every day to come work. So you always have a job as long as your records are clean. You always have it, and it's really really good to have your CDL because like say you want to own a company, trucking company, and you don't want to drive, and say you hire people and one day one of your drivers gets mad or leaves the company and leaves the truck at a truck stop and you don't have your CDL, how can you go pick up your truck? So you're gonna have to hire more people, and so it's just always benefit to have your CDL, and it's just I feel like the long term it's a good thing to have your CDL for sure. Okay, so the process of getting your CDL, you first start off with by going to your local DMV and asking for a manual book of how to get like your CDL. So you get that book, you read that book. I don't know how fast you can read or how fast you guys can learn, but you just gotta read that book and it has all the questions that's gonna be on that test. And then you download an app called the CDL Practice. And you download that app, you just keep studying and studying and studying. And when you feel confident, you go to your local DMV, and you make an appointment. Once you make the appointment, you take the test. You can either go take, there's three tests. You can either take the general knowledge, air combination, and air brake. So you can choose to take all three in one day, or you can come back. And what I did was I went first time and took the 50 questions, which I passed. Then I took a week and a half, and I went back and I took the combination and air brake together, and I passed those. But that's how it is. It's like 50 questions. Out of the 50, you got to answer at least 46. No, you got to answer at least 46 of them right. And then for the other ones, you got just 20 questions. So you got to answer at least 16. No, you got to answer at least 17 of them correctly. So it's not hard if you actually just sit home or at work in break room, or if you're just out in the park, you want to read, you should do it. It's not really that hard. And once you get those questions in your head and remember the answers, and you go to the DMV, it's like I'm not gonna trying to say like it's the same thing, but it's like getting your license, driver license. You study, and you go to the DMV, you take a test, and that's how it starts. That's what you gotta do first to get your permit. You need a permit first before you can get your license. Well, first, like I said, you gotta get your permit, then you gotta get your license. To get your license, so back in February, the laws changed. Back in the days, you could have just got your permit and go to the DMV and test it to get your license. But now they make you go to school, so trucking school. So for me, I went to two different trucking schools. I went to North Carolina. I went there for a week. It was supposed to be 4 weeks, but I didn't like the conditions. It was not for me. I couldn't do it. Like I didn't like the trainers. I didn't like a lot of things about that school, like the place you were sleeping in, and so it was not for me. So I got my money and I came back home. So when I came back home, I went to a school in my own state. It's called the Pro Driver down in Milton. Great people, man. They will show you how to get your license, and they make sure you get your license. So when they're ready, they will let you go to the DMV and test to get your license, and they do a great job. So shout out to Alex, man. He was really a good person and great helper. He helped me out, and it was fun. I actually like it, even though for me, I took the driving test twice because I failed the 90 the first time. The last maneuver, I failed. So I waited like 2 weeks because once you fail, you gotta wait a couple weeks because the schools like the DMVs are always packed, so you don't get back and put it back in the schedule for a while. But so I failed the 90. I went back to school. My trainer helped me, like we were just for the whole last 2 weeks we were just working on 90 backing, and then I went back to the DMV and I took the test again and I passed, which was I'm very excited. But then when you get your license, you got to go get a job. So that's where it's people don't understand is the jobs. Like, so when you go into a job, you're not going there for the money first. Let me just tell you that you're going there to get experience. Because a lot of these companies, they're gonna always say, "Do you have experience? Do you have experience? How much months of experience? How many years you have experience?" Experience is very key. So for me, I went to Werner. So I went to this company called Werner Enterprise Inc. Yeah, that's what they were called. They were great people. Like the training was amazing. They take care of you. They make sure you know how to live like a truck driver. Like they make sure the trainer will show you how to how to fuel the truck the proper way because they don't show you that at schools. How to how to do the logbook, how to use the electric logbook, how to a lot of stuff like how to do the actual backing into a dock because schools don't do that. So it's really important that you go to a job that's going to be there for experience. So let me tell you, when you're going to your first job, you're going there for experience. You're not going there for the money because there's no. I'm not gonna say there's no, but there's a lot of these companies they don't pay really really good. So remember that. That's one thing you guys got to remember. You're going there for the experience. You're not going there for the money. Okay, that's that's it. I say it is. I mean, for me personally, it's worth it because I didn't like what I was doing before, and I didn't like work at the warehouse and stuff, and I didn't like that. For me, that was not my scenery. So I was like, yo, I like to drive. I really like. If a lot of my friends know I love driving, so I was like, yo, let me get a job that I actually love, and it's two things: coaching and driving. So I was like, yo, let me go get my CDL so I can make a lot of money and doing something I actually love doing. So for me, it was worth it. Some people say, oh, it's not worth it. Just do other stuff. But for me personally, I loved it. I still love trucking. So for me, it's worth it. So my end goal in the trucking industry is to be either owner operator or have my own company, trucking company, and that's my end goal. And when I hit that, that's when I know I made it to my goal. So those two things, either owner operator or own my own trucking company. So those two are my end game, end goal, for sure. For me, I decided to get my CDL. Like I said, I love driving truck, and it was the perfect timing for me right now. As a 24-year-old, it's now or never for me. So, and I was like, yo, how can I put myself in a better situation when it comes to like money and stuff that I like to do. So I was like, it was a big risk. I took a big risk because I left a job that was paying me already good money, but I left to do something I wanted to do, chase my dreams of doing. So that's why, for me, it was really it was a tough decision, but I think I made the right decision. And obviously, I talked to my family. I asked a lot of people for questions, and a lot of my friends are in the trucking, and a lot of random people I met on YouTube and Instagram and all that fun stuff. For me, it was the right time. It was now or never. So I made the right choice for me, honestly. So for honestly, like that's all depending on you, like how hard you work, um, how willing are you to be out for a long time from your home, from your family, and and it's how if you know this. So it's called if you're a truck owner like already and a owner operator, you already know this. It's finding the best loads, and the best loads are not going to be given to you. You got to actually go and like talk to the big companies and make sure you have a good clean record and all that stuff. So for me, I would say I know people that make 200,000. I know people that make 150,000. I know people that make 100,000. I know people that make only 80,000. So it's all up to you. It's how hard are you willing to go work, and how long are you willing to be out for a long time from your families, from your wife, from your kids, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your best friends, and it's all about that thing. For me, I say my goal is to make a lot of money off of this. So it's a step, you know, it's a process. It takes time, but for me, it's to make a lot of money for sure. And then just like this, make helping people out. You know, for me, I want to make sure if I have end up opening my own trucking companies, it's bring like hire trainers, and then bring these new guys, pay them really, really like not the greatest money because it's hard. Just pay them okay money so they can get the experience and stuff. And that's just the possibilities, you know, when it comes to money wise and stuff. Um, so my closing sentence are for me. I would say make sure you have people. Like for me, I'll put my social media on the bottom of the video, but reach out to people that you know that do trucking and see if they can help you, like help you learn the process and be like. For me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had this guy, my best, like he became one of my best friends, but his name is Yassine, and he really helped me. Like when he got his permit, he had his permit before me, he had his license before me, and he started a good company. He was always there and always giving me advice and like how I should do it, and he always motivated me. For me, because I almost quit after I failed the 9 day. I was like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to just go back to the warehouse. But he's like, yo, do you really want to go back to the warehouse, or you want to do something you actually love? And I was like, yo, he has a point. So he pushed me to get my license and just have someone there that you know that can help you a lot. And that's for me. That's why I'm making this video so I can help those, because I got a lot of messages from a lot of people from social media I don't even know that I had on Snapchat, on Facebook, and Instagram. They're like, yo, we see you doing trucking and stuff. Yo, I've been trying to have someone help me like get my permit, my license, how the process works. So that's why I'm making these videos, and I get, like I said, I'll put my social media stuff on there. I'll be the voice to help people. For me, I want to make sure people eating, everybody getting their bags and stuff. So that's why for me, it's very important. I asked my friends to help me film this video so I can give people some advice and all that stuff. And then another person I like to give a shout out to is a couple people actually. Shout out to Blackie Mo from Phoenix. He used to live in Vermont. I talked to him. He's the one that told me to come to Werner and all that stuff. And then shout out to Mo from Springfield. He helped me out with the process of picking a good job to start out with. And shout out to Abdi. You know, he was always there helping me out with the getting the process too. He was like another Yassine for me. He was always helping me. And just shout out to everybody that I didn't mention their name or I have forgotten. You know, you guys played a big role for me to get my CDL. So I want to say special thank you guys to all of you guys. And like I said, I'm gonna leave my social media stuff, name and username over there. And if you have any questions or concerns or how the process, and hey, I'm always willing to respond, and I do respond fast. So that's another thing. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. And shout out to Werner, man. They took a chance on the young boy that has some ambition to be great. So for sure, I respect them. Thank you guys, Werner. That's it.
We cutting it there?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it looks like a
That's a
little
wrap.
better now. 100%. You know, he, all right, cut it there.